In front of me, I have $500 worth of ingredients to make a fancy steak dinner. And next to me is my cameraman, who doesn't cook at all, with $15 worth of steak ingredients. We're gonna have a cook-off to see who can make a better dish, but first, we're gonna swap ingredients.
What?
This leaves me with a $10 steak from Walmart, 3 sad-looking potatoes, a few chives, and that terrible pre-ground pepper. This means that Manny, who doesn't cook, is left with a $350 piece of Kobe beef, the top tier of Wagyu.
I wanna mess it up.
Along with some of the fanciest ingredients money can buy. Today, you'll be the judges. We need you to vote in the comments below who you think wins. So with that said, let's get 30 minutes on the clock to make the best dishes we possibly can, because our time starts now.
I'm gonna start with a red wine reduction. I f***ed it up last time, so hopefully it's a little bit better.
This reduction smells and looks okay, but if you move it around, you can see it's not properly emulsified. It would be what we call a broken sauce.
Guess it's broken. Still a sauce. After that, we're gonna season the steak. We're gonna base it with some butter, white truffle, black truffle in there. Then we're gonna put the gold leaf on, caviar, and a little bit of red wine reduction on the bottom as base.
I'm actually really happy and proud of Manny that he seems to have a plan today. I'm gonna go for a pretty simple steak and frites. I'm gonna make these really beautiful shoestring fries, and these are gonna take the longest in my recipe. So my first priority.
The worst wine bottle opener I've ever used in my entire life. So hard.
This is why we don't give him nice things.
Got it.
So first things first, I'm tossing my potatoes right into a bath of cold water immediately. That way they're not gonna get that discoloration, and I can start rinsing a little bit of that starch off the outside. For my French fries, luckily, I've been given russet potatoes, which are the one and only potatoes you wanna use, super high starch content. Into the water bath they go. And I'm already feeling good about the challenge because Manny is several minutes in and all he's done is open a bottle of wine.
All right, I'm gonna start the red wine reduction. I'll start with a little bit of wine. I'm a little nervous because Nick gave me a bunch of expensive ingredients. I really don't want to f them up. I don't know what the f I'm doing, so I'll do my best.
Today's cooking challenge is in honor of our family growing to 6 million. I am so incredibly happy and grateful to have all of you here. And to those of you who aren't already subscribed, we are on a mission to pass Gordon in subscribers. So go on and hit that button below to join the food fam.
All right, I'm trying to open my Wagyu here. I don't know if you remember, last time I cut it on the Wagyu, I cut into it. Open this up.
You just cut into the meat like immediately. What are you doing?
So this time I'm trying my best not to do that.
Again, because I wasn't given many ingredients to work with, I have to make sure that mine stand out. A steak and frites is a fantastic dish, but only if you pull it off right. The fries must be extremely crispy, and as you can see, I'm cutting these by hand.
7 minutes already gone. I don't know what the f I'm doing with the sauce here. It's not looking good so far. I'm gonna dry this steak off a little bit, get some of the blood off. I think it looks a little bit better than last time. It doesn't seem like it's separating, but I'm not really sure. Seems like it's reducing a little bit, but I think my heat's a little bit too high. Let's go back to the steak. All right, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. Nick might get mad at me for doing this, but I think it looks better like this. Kind of following my gut here.
All right, now that my fries are all set in here, the key to crispy fries is blanching them. So I'm gonna switch my pot for a Dutch oven, heavy bottom pot that I can fry in. And then I need a whole lot of oil.
Looks like it's reducing a little bit. It's almost half of what it was when I started. Take another little knob of butter in here. While this keeps on going, I'm gonna start by seasoning my steak. Wagyu, as you know from Nick, you don't wanna overdo it with seasoning, so I'm just gonna go with salt this time. It's a little flaky. I really don't wanna mess up the steak because it is really expensive. Just a tiny little bite of the steak is around $20. So I wanna season it correctly and I wanna cook it correctly. I really don't wanna overcook this today.
Only 19 minutes left. Neither of us have even started cooking our steaks yet. Not that I have a very nice one to work with anyways. But I will say this, Manny's red wine reduction is coming together somehow.
I think I might have overdone it a little bit.
There's smoke everywhere, Manny. It burnt, you burned it.
I think I burned it. We're back at square one. I'm gonna toss it up. I'm gonna try it one more time.
We now have just over 17 minutes on the clock and Manny is restarting. He has done virtually nothing other than open the bottle of wine thus far.
I'm gonna restart, but I'm gonna make a lot less this time. Hopefully make up for lost time. Honestly, this time I'm gonna go for more of a loose reduction. I might get roasted for it, but it's gonna save me time. I don't think I have time to get it really thick. You guys are judging today, help me out here a little bit. I'm doing my best. All right, in we go with the butter again. Oh, I got paper in here. All right, if I remember correctly, Nick used a little bit of cornstarch flour last time, so I'm gonna try that trick this time. Just add a tad bit more wine because I gotta get moving on to the steak. Holy sh! I think it's working. I think I might have nailed the wine sauce this time. I didn't blend it perfectly, but it's the right consistency.
We have 13 minutes on the clock. It is time to blanch my potatoes. I'm gonna be double frying these. First, I'm gonna go in at about 265 degrees Fahrenheit, where my oil should start lightly bubbling, and I'm really just looking to get that initial cook of the fries. Just like with fried chicken, we're gonna double fry.
I'm getting ready to cook the steak. I'm gonna put a little layer of oil on the bottom here.
Manny, pause. How many times do we cook Wagyu?
A lot.
That is a $350 piece of Wagyu. You're putting a swimming pool of oil in the pan to cook the Wagyu. What's gone wrong, Manny? Think about it for a second.
Yeah. So we're gonna dump out the oil and we're gonna use the steak oil. No, I'm gonna use a little bit of this Wagyu fat here instead of oil. This is just gonna melt like butter. It really smells incredible.
My fries are coming along really well. I am holding the nice shoestring shape. I'm holding that nice shoestring shape. I'm holding the nice shoestring shape of the... These are gonna be perfect.
I feel like Chef Boy Manny over here.
Chef Boy Manny's burning the hell out of the pot.
I'm gonna clean it one more time and do this one more time. I want my pot to be perfect. I want my steak to stick to it.
You left the stove on. It pains me to walk by, smell the Wagyu, smell the truffle, and see what Manny's doing to it right now. It pains me. My fries are done with the initial blanching process, so I'm gonna take them and lay them gently out on my tray here, and then it's time to heat the oil up even higher and get ready to sear my steak because we only have 8 minutes left.
I'm just waiting for my pan to come to temperature. If you're cooking Wagyu, you want a really nice sear on both sides, so I want this really hot. I cooked it right last time, so hopefully I can get the perfect medium rare this time. I'm just gonna wait till this starts to smoke a little bit, and I'm gonna toss the steak around.
I'll say this, Manny started off the steak in a very nice hot pan, and that is the correct first step. Woo! Nope, don't boo yet, because the one problem is I can already see it bowing up right in this section here, which means it's basically steaming itself under that, and it's gonna be gray and brown in that section.
You're boiling a burger.
I'm just heating it back up.
You want the entire steak touching the pan to get that nice golden brown sear across the whole thing.
We'll get the other side perfect. We have 7 minutes left, and Nick hasn't even started cooking his steak yet. I'm gonna start flipping mine. So I don't know what Nick was talking about, but that looks like a pretty decent crust.
Pretty good. Manny, proud of you.
Now I'm gonna start basting this because it's a really thin piece of steak, and I really don't want to overcook it. We're putting our butter in. We got black truffle, a little white truffle in there. A lot of water in the truffle, splattering all over me. That's it, the steak's done. I'm gonna take it off and let it rest. Kind of overcooked it here, but if it turn over, we won't see it.
We have about 6 minutes left. I have to finish my entire dish in that time. First, my fries are gonna go in, and it's time to get them nice and crispy. My oil's at about 370 Fahrenheit, just above what I want it to land at. Once all those fries go in and cool it down. Once those are in, it's time to take my steak, quickly toss that down on my cutting board, and as much as it pains me to do this, season with just a little bit of pre-ground pepper, and then ask Manny if I can borrow some salt. Manny, can I borrow some salt? Yeah. Tiny pinch of salt on each side of the steak, and given this is a relatively low quality steak compared to the one Manny used, I do need some oil in the pan to get a nice crust. While this is going, I can see that my fries are turning nice and golden brown, and these will only need a minute or two more until they're finished.
My strategy here is I'm trying to go for kind of a cool plating. I'm gonna put these into cubes, I'm gonna cover them in gold leaf, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of red wine reduction and then a little bit of caviar on top. Nick, 5 minutes left, better hurry up.
5 minutes might not be long enough to cook this steak, but I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna open up my gold leaf. If you've seen any of the videos, you know it's very delicate. You have to be very careful with this stuff. Check out the red wine reduction, it's pretty up. So I'm gonna try to heat this back up on the burner so it's not like this.
My fries are almost done. My steak is the thing I'm worried about right now. I haven't been paying so much attention to it, and it might have a little bit more of a crust than I want, but I'm gonna go for that flip.
Now the gold leaf is going on. Your hands have to be super dry or it can go through the paper. This one up, try this again, there we go. There's 3 minutes left. I don't think Nick is gonna finish. Now, I'm not gonna cover the entire steak. I kinda wanna have a little bit of exposed. So I'm gonna get a little bit more on this and then I think we're good.
Once my steak has achieved this beautiful crust, I'll render off just a tiny bit more fat on the edge here, and then I can let it rest. My fries are also finished, and I want you to listen as they drop in the bowl. As Ronald McDonald himself knows, that is the sound of a good fry. Just under 2 minutes left, it is time to finish things out. What are you playing, Jenga? Did you stack the Kobe beef?
I stacked it. I'm just gonna take a little bit of caviar and put this on top.
I unfortunately had no time to let my steak rest today, and I am gonna have to borrow the salt just one last time to get my fries all finished up and ready to go.
Trying to get some caviar in here. The spoon is not a mother of pearl. I'm just kind of worried about breaking the pearls here.
A several $100 tin of caviar you give Manny, and this is what happens.
All right, I'm gonna switch spoons. I think the holes in here are kind of f***ing me.
Minute 30 seconds left, time to finish your plating.
I'm just getting the caviar on top of the gold here. Now don't tell Nick, but I'm gonna steal one of his chives. Here's the chive.
I remember every single time in MasterChef, I let it come down to the last second, and this is no different.
Hurry up, Nick.
When you have this little time to plate this much, your hands start shaking, no matter how confident you are in the kitchen.
This might be cheating a little bit, but this thing is so f***ed up, I'm just not gonna use it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Time for you to take a closer look at what we've made. Thank you all once again for 6 million, and make sure to go to the comments below and vote for who won today's cooking challenge.
If we win this today, it wasn't because of you.